Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Shreya paramavapsyatha
Shreya paramavapsyatha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Annad bhavanti bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha
पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last couple of sessions, we have been penetrating into this principle of sant. This is the sattvic approach towards life. Now, sant means being a spiritual person. That's all it is. It ultimately boils down to that. So what is interesting is, we have seen a couple of dimensions, we'll be seeing a few more. Now, even in these few dimensions which were given to you, one thing would have become very clear, that is, spirituality or spiritual growth is not measured by externalities. See, generally, you have a wrong notion about who a saint is. You just go by externalities. Generally, a saint is associated with a certain type of dress. If he wears this color, if he wears this kind of dress, then he is a saint. He is a spiritual person. That is so absurd if you think about it. Just by changing one's attire, how can one become spiritual? Some saints, some yogis may have stuck to a particular attire. That doesn't mean that that is the necessary thing, necessary yardstick to measure spiritual progress. The external dress, the lifestyle, all these things are not to be considered. What is the inner state of that person? Of course, here I am explaining to you from a third person's point of view, but when you do your reflection, you will have to take it in and see whether you are absorbing these inner qualities. In the second chapter, the Sthita Prajna portion which we saw, Arjuna asked Krishna directly, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha? How does he speak? How does he behave? How does he walk? How does he eat? All these things he asks about a person who is established in this wisdom. Now, that question is so absurd in that context, because if he wanted to know how a spiritual person will be, all he had to do was just observe Lord Krishna, who was there right in front of him. So, what does that question show? That shows that Arjuna didn't see Krishna as a spiritual person, he saw him as his friend. And then slowly he understood Krishna's greatness. You go to a multi-billionaire and then ask him how will a multi-billionaire function. He'll say, just observe me, that is enough, no, for you. The fact that you asked that question itself means you have not recognized that person as a multi-billionaire. It's as simple as that. Why is this? Because it's not something which, it's not a tendency which is of today. It's right from early days. The human mind has this tendency to conclude based on externalities. So, when Arjuna saw Krishna's external life, he judged him as a non-spiritual person. He didn't even suspect that Krishna had this kind of wisdom. And what is interesting is, from Krishna's side, he also was so humble. He just played the role of a friend. It is only when Arjuna had no choice, he didn't know what to do, he didn't know how to handle this problem, and he surrendered to Krishna, that Krishna slowly started showing his real nature. His real nature was that of infinite, because he was an avatar. So just imagine, an avatar is in front of Arjuna, but Arjuna was not able to recognize that the spiritual greatness of that person. See, today when you are reading it in the books, you are talking about Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. But supposing that God were to manifest in the form of Lord Krishna in front of you, you will have your own sets of rights and wrongs. You will have your impressions about how an avatar should be, and unless and until that person fulfills your concepts, that is, fits into your concepts of rights and wrongs, you will not accept. So this is a big block in the minds of many sadhaks. They have the sincerity, they sincerely want to grow, but because of these blocks, they are unable to understand what true spirituality is. They are unable to even understand who is a true spiritual person and who is not. So they just think if a person wears a particular attire, now that person is spiritual. Just because a person is able to quote a few verses from the scriptures, they think, oh, that person is very knowledgeable about the scriptures. That person has a wisdom. These are all external yardsticks which are meaningless. A yogi has to be measured with internal yardsticks. And when you apply the internal yardsticks, you will find that you are not in a position to measure at all. Because you will first have to grow, become a yogi, come to that level, only then you will be able to see who is a yogi, who is not a yogi. So a sant may wear any dress which he chooses, may have any kind of lifestyle. Some yogis were very rich, some yogis were poor, externally, financially, I mean. They chose not to acquire riches. Some yogis chose to acquire riches. It would be for a particular purpose. But all these things really do not mean anything. I want you to register this in the deeper layers of your mind, because even though you consciously kind of appreciate this, but at the deeper level, you always have these blocks. Your idea or your concepts of how a saint should be, your own yardsticks, and they will necessarily have to be wrong. I'll tell you why. You are in a state of imperfection. So if you have concepts about perfection, since it is stemming from the level of imperfection, your concepts, your yardsticks have to be imperfect only. Even when you read the scriptures, you are understanding the scriptures with your mind only. That is why you should never get into these judgments. Never judge a person who is at a higher level than you. You will make a terrible mistake. So this is a great opportunity to get into the depth and understand who is a sant, who is a spiritual person. Of course, here we are seeing a few aspects. Now, throughout the Bhagavad Gita, according to the context, he will be giving different aspects of spiritual growth. Sometimes he will be using the word yogi, sometimes he will be using the word sant, elsewhere he used the word sthitaprajna to mean the highest state. So, different words will be used, different facets will be highlighted. So, as and when the context comes, you go on absorbing those principles. But one thing is common, he does not talk about externalities. In the Bhagavad Gita, he never tells you what dress you should wear. Because that is not a yardstick of spiritual growth. So even when it comes to karma yoga, people think just because a person is now doing some acts of charity, now that person has become a great karma yogi. No, it all depends upon the bhavana, the motive. Person may be giving charity, doing charity in terms of money, but he may be having subtler expectations, like he may want a name or a fame out of it. Something else may be there. Then that is no longer karma yoga. Similarly, external acts of worship is considered to be devotion today. That is not necessary. A person may not do any rituals externally, but that person may be truly devoted to God. So what is true devotion? Similarly, what is knowledge, true knowledge? Again, you go by externalities. How many books a person has read? How many verses is he familiar with? These things are non-essentials. So you need to differentiate between essentials and non-essentials of spirituality. What are the non-essentials? The dress which a person wears, the language which a person speaks. See, there were spiritual masters from different parts of the world speaking different languages, no? Even within India, even if you take the Siddhas, in Tamil Nadu, the Siddhas spoke in Tamil. If you go to Maharashtra, there were many saints, many yogis. They spoke in that local language. So the place, the language, these things do not matter. The internal qualities, that is the key, that is the essential. So what are the non-essentials? What dress you are wearing. You can wear any dress you want. The language part, just because a person has mastery over the Sanskritam language, many people think he has become a jnani. If you have mastery over Sanskritam language, you are a pandit in that language. That doesn't make you a saint. So you should differentiate between these two. Similarly, when it comes to yoga, people think just because a person is very flexible and he or she does all the physical movements, that person is a yogi. That person is a yoga teacher. That's all. We can't even say yoga teacher, asana teacher. Real yoga is getting attuned to the infinite. So you should differentiate between a professor of philosophy and a saint, first of all. Similarly, you should differentiate between a yoga teacher and a yogi. The poles apart. Similarly, the external modes of worship, these are non-essentials. The internal bhavana of devotion is the key. The external modes of worship will differ from place to place, from culture to culture. If you get caught up with that, you will miss the real spirituality. So, as a sadhak, as you keep doing your sadhana on a daily basis, the yoga sankirtan sadhana, you will become more and more subtle. And as you become more subtle, you will understand what true spirituality is through your own experience. Actually, in the height of devotion, you cannot do any external mode of worship, because the feeling will be so deep. You will not even express it in a gross way. It will be so subtle, so deep, that connection. It makes you speechless. In the second chapter, he used the word, ascharyavat, means that person becomes wonderstruck. So whether it is karma yoga, or whether it is bhakti yoga, or whether it is jnana yoga, or whether it is hatha yoga, any spiritual practice you take, you always go by externalities. That is the weakness of the mind. So by emulating the external practices of a yogi, you cannot become a yogi. Long back, a couple came to meet me. This was when we used to have these sessions in the auditorium, live. Now, of course, it's become online. So they had sought an appointment. So after the session was over, they came to meet me in the green room. And so the wife was highly stressed. And when I looked at the husband, he was having a smile. But when I saw what was the energy pattern inside, I found that he was in the height of tamas. See, always tamas and sattva, they mimic each other. So tamas many a times comes in the mask of sattva. So he was having a kind of a condescending look. Why is she so agitated? So even as they were walking in, I was just reading their energy pattern, sensing that. And then they sat and the wife said, "Sir, it's not only me." They had 2 children, one son and one daughter. The lives of our children and my life, it is literally like hell because of him. She's pointing out to the husband. Now I just looked at him and he was just smiling. It was a fake smile, He was trying to impress. So then I asked her what happened. She said, "Sir, for the last 1 year we have been attending your sessions, and this is what has really helped me to, maintain a little bit of my balance. But this problem has to be solved." I said, "What is the problem?" She said, earlier her husband was had a guru. He was now no more present in the physical form. He had left his body. So she said, "He was a great saint, sir. And we used to every now and then go and take his blessings and come." I said, "That is a good thing, no? If your husband was devoted to that master." She said, "No, sir, it is not that. He has picked up all the things, he has picked up a few things from that master in a wrong way, and he's practicing it in a wrong way." I said, "What did he pick up?" See, his guru, that is that master, he used to eat food in a coconut shell. In Tamil we say, kotanguchi. For whatever reasons. Now, therefore, what this man had done was, he stopped taking food in a plate, normal plate. Instead, he also has food only in a coconut shell. Not only that rule was not applicable only to him, he forced it upon all the family members. He was forcing her to eat only in a coconut shell, and his children also. Kids were, teenagers, and when you go through the teenage, there's a lot of confusion. The rebellious nature also comes out. So they need proper direction. At that time, if you give them a coconut shell, and if you say you have to eat only in this. So this, as an example, she gave this. Like this, she said, there are so many things. In the peak of summer, he used to switch off the AC and even the fan, and he used to tell them, now, practice being happy with the heat. Why? Because you have to go beyond heat and cold. All kinds of foolish things he was doing. So then I asked him, "Sir, is what she's saying, is it true?" He said, "Yes." "So why are you doing this?" Because he said, that is what I learnt from that great master. I said, "What did you learn? Did he tell you that you should eat your food only in a coconut shell?" He said, "No." If he hasn't told you that, then what I said, "No, sir, by observation I learnt." What observation? I asked him, okay, what was his financial status? He said, he was a poor person only financially. That is, talking about that master. So he may have had a coconut shell because he may not have had money to buy a plate. That's all. The reason could have been very simple. instead of absorbing the higher principles which that master had given, what have you absorbed? Okay, that way I asked him, where did he stay? He said, in a very small hut like, a house, but with thatched roof and all that. I said, then are you living in a thatched roof house? He said, no. So why don't you follow that also? That you will not be able to follow. So, can you see the absurdity? Just because that person, he had food one day or 2 days in a coconut shell, now he has taken it as a spiritual principle. And he had made the life of his wife and kids literally like hell by forcing these kinds of things upon them. I said, see, you went to him to take blessings, right? Now, you yourself are saying he was living in poverty. Did that thought ever come to your mind? Let me offer something to him. Let me give him some Guru Dakshina so that he can buy a few things. Did that ever cross your mind? He said, no, sir. That will not cross him because there is no gratitude. Instead, you are just picking up some non-essentials. You didn't even ask him, neither did he give you any instructions. Something you just pick up and then blindly you're following. So if you're not careful, it can go up to such foolishness. Then I had to tell him, I said, this is not spirituality. You're in a state of tamas. So what should I do to become spiritual? I said, today you go home, take all your coconut shells and throw them away. Start leading a normal life and practice these higher values in your life. So people have such strange concepts. They think if a person is living a particular lifestyle, then that person immediately becomes spiritual. That master may have been a true master, but not because of this. See, the assessment, that is the reason why he thought that person was spiritual was wrong. Independently, that person may have been a great yogi also. He may have chosen that kind of a lifestyle for a particular reason. But what is your approach? That is the question. So constantly your mind is judging based on externalities. Now from this moment onwards, cut that. Of course, after that session, it was hardly for about 20 minutes or so. I just spoke to them and he got the clarity. I said, the first thing you need to do if you want to grow spiritually is you need to apologize to your wife. You need to apologize to your kids for making their lives miserable. And I said, you close your eyes and offer your gratitude to your Guru, that master. He said, sir, I never thought about, offering him anything. Offer now, no. See, ultimately a true master does not want anything. It's only the bhavana which matters. He'll only look at the bhavana. So offer him your gratitude. If you feel you have made a mistake, you sincerely, from your heart, you apologize. He did that. And then I said, now start your spiritual journey. You have not even started. Because of these foolish concepts, you got stuck with something which is totally unrelated to spirituality. So every master came, they had certain external practices, external lifestyle, all these things were different. But one thing is common, all of them were attuned to that infinite reality. So a true sant is one who is attuned to that supreme truth. That is what we saw last time, no? The dimension of Sat, which is truth. So first dimension which we saw was goodness, Dharma, that is righteousness, trustworthiness and responsibility. We saw that. And then the next one is truth. Means always being attuned to that infinite reality. Such a person is a sant. He may be having his eyes open or he may be having his eyes closed. These things do not matter. Again, those things are non-essentials only. So, if you really want to grow spiritually as a sadhak, you should learn to differentiate between essentials of spirituality and non-essentials of spirituality. Only then you will get the clarity. In these sessions, the Sunday sessions every week, we are dealing only with the essentials. Long back, when a reporter was interviewing me, what she was saying was very interesting. She said when she first came to the session, she was so surprised to see that it was so colorful. That is, everyone was wearing different colors, the dresses were of different colors. She said it was so lively and colorful. I said, why? What did you expect? No, I expected everyone to wear a particular dress and sit there. I said, that is not required. Actually, true spirituality is freedom. A master would give a lot of freedom to the students. It is only when the student does something which is harmful that he will put his foot down and say, don't do it. But otherwise, to emphasize on these non-essentials actually is unnecessary. So this is a great opportunity for you. So number one, Sant means one who is dharmic, one who follows Dharma, being righteous, being trustworthy and being responsible. And then truth. We were seeing that, acting according to one's conscience. As William Shakespeare says, to thine own self be true. Means you just be true to yourself, to your conscience. Your conscience constantly keeps telling you what is right, what is wrong. And as I was telling you in the last session, your guru will mirror your conscience. See, the guru tattva is the guru element from which the guru shakti flows, the energy of the guru. Now the guru shakti manifests internally as a conscience, and the same guru shakti manifests externally as your master. It is one and the same thing only. Whatever your conscience tells you, that is what your master will also tell you externally. So once you get attuned to the Guru Shakti, you will start getting guidance externally, and you will also start getting guidance from the Guru Shakti internally also. Because when you go deep in meditation, the master cannot guide you externally, but he will guide you through the Guru Shakti internally. That is why a true sadhak who is attuned to the Guru Shakti will find the connection with the Guru permanently, that is 24/7. He or she will always be receiving that guidance Even in the deep meditation, supposing some block comes, some issue comes up, you don't know how to handle, you just have to get reconnected, that is re-established with the Guru Shakti, and the Guru will guide you. So that is being truthful, that is acting according to one's conscience. So the conscience internally functions as the force of conscience, the Guru Shakti, and externally as a master. So if you are not clear, what is my conscience, what is it telling me, no problem, then follow the words of your master. That is why it is said, Guror Vakyam Parama Vakyam. The words of a Guru are the highest. Why did they say that? Because that is reflecting your own conscience. It will take you towards the higher. So instead of getting attuned to the truth, if you get attached to these externalities, like that man who said from now onwards I'll eat only in a coconut shell. Now these things are non-essentials. So from this moment onwards, start practicing this. Just tell yourself, from this moment onwards, I am going to be truthful to myself. You may fool anyone else, but you can't fool your own conscience. Remember that. And you can't fool your Guru also, because he is a mirror of your conscience. If you try to fool your conscience and then go to the external Guru trying to impress him, he will become very harsh. It is only a cloak of harshness to awaken the student, But actually a Guru is never harsh or is never angry and all that. Then that person cannot be a Guru. Sometimes externally he may fake all that, or he may use those things as tools to get a person out of tamas. So you can't fool the system. This is the right royal way towards the right royal way to spiritual growth. So acting according to one's conscience, number one. Number two, we also saw arjavam, uprightness, being straightforward in life. A yogi is one who does not manipulate all the time. Now you may ask me, Sir, Lord Krishna, he did a lot of manipulation. That was not manipulation. In order to establish Dharma, he followed certain strategies. What Shakuni did was manipulation. How do we differentiate between manipulation and intelligent way of functioning? It is based on your motive only. Is your motive good or bad? Is your motive selfish or selfless? So a saint is one who is very upright. Arjavam is something which he is established in. And when you follow Arjavam, you will gain a lot of self-confidence. You will be able to see anyone's eyes, you will be able to see anyone eye to eye and talk with full confidence. It is only when you hide something or when your motives are not okay, that is when you don't have that straightforwardness, you hesitate. So you should follow this in your life and see your level of self-confidence growing. The more upright, the more straightforward you are, the more will be your self-confidence and self-esteem also. Again, I have already given you that warning. Being upright, being straightforward doesn't mean being rude. See, I am also giving you that quality with which you need to balance this so that you don't misunderstand this and start practicing this in a wrong way. Just as when we talked about responsibility, trustworthiness, told you should be responsible but also light-hearted, not become too serious. Similarly, when you're upright, when you're straightforward, don't become rude. Don't start criticizing everyone in the name of being upright. That's why you should think about Lord Hanuman, because Lord Hanuman had this quality of arjavam, but he was extremely diplomatic also. So truth need not be put in a bitter way. It can be put in a nice way also. So, number one, acting according to conscience. Number two, arjavam, being upright. Number three, with respect to this dimension of truth, being truthful means your thought, your emotion, your speech and your actions, all of them are aligned, are in one straight line. They generally say, no, thought, word and deed should be together. It's not only mere thought, word and deed. All your energies should be aligned. Your thought, your emotions, your pranas, your speech and your actions. All of them should be aligned. A yogi's entire personality is fully aligned. This is called integration of one's personality. The word yoga itself means union, integration, yuj. It has so many meanings. So when different context comes, I am telling you that is also yoga, this is also yoga. So you should not ask, so that time you said yoga means that, now you are saying yoga means this. This also, all these dimensions put together is yoga. So today your personality is fragmented. You are thinking one thing, you are feeling something else. You are speaking something else and you are doing something else. They are not together. So if you want to become a sant, now start feeling whatever you are thinking. First of all, conscience. Because supposing you say, sir, I have a thought, a very negative thought. Now should I start feeling it and acting on it? No. That is why I covered the conscience first. So your conscience is there. So your thought is aligned to your conscience. Now thereafter, what do you need to practice? You should first start practicing feeling your thoughts. You should not think something just casually. So your feeling should be there, and then you should speak whatever you feel, and you should act based on your thought, feeling and speech. Incidentally, I was talking about trustworthiness, no? When we were seeing the Dharma, this is how you can be trustworthy. If you say something and if you are doing something else, then that is not being dharmic, no? That is not being truthful. See, these are all interrelated. This is a beautiful sadhana to be practiced to align the thought, emotion, words and actions. Of course, the conscience is backing it. So, if you start following that, you will find that there will be no dissipation of your energies. Your whole personality will start getting integrated. That is the process of yoga. And when the integration is complete, you become a yogi. When you align your thoughts, emotions, words and actions together in one straight line, that produces a tremendous force. Tremendous energy is created. With that energy, when you focus on the infinite, you merge with that infinite. You become a sthita prajna. When your personality is fragmented and you say, I am thinking about God, that will not work. Because one fiber will be thinking about God, one fiber of your personality. But what about the rest? They are running in so many directions. Many people ask this question, oh, I've been so pious, all I've done is just, I've been chanting God's name whenever I can, but why are such negative things happening to me? You're chanting the name of God with your lips, but what about your emotion? What about your thought? What about your conscience? We have to check. If you're truly integrating, then you will grow spiritually. You will become a sant. So, truth means integration of one's personality, not being fragmented. So, when you integrate, you acquire tremendous focus, concentration. The dharana shakti increases. Dharana means concentration. And when your dharana shakti increases, incidentally, your power to materialize will also increase. You acquire what is called as vak siddhi. Vak siddhi means when you say something with full integration, now that will become true. That is why we always have this custom of taking the blessings from yogis and masters. Why? Because if they by any chance bless us, now the belief is that will come true. Why? Because they are such integrated people. So in the Puranas you would have read about giving boons, gods give boons or curses also. How did that person get that power to give a boon or curse? It is by personality integration. When you go on integrating your personality, thus you become divine, you will become a god. Even when you are having the human body, you will become so divine from within. Of course, you should not misuse these powers. That is where a guru comes in. A guru ensures that the ego is not touched when these sorts of powers start manifesting. So when you practice this dimension, what will happen is your focus will increase, your work productivity will increase, that is the quality of your actions will improve tremendously. What you were able to complete, let's say in 4 hours, now you will be able to complete it within 1 hour. Many sadhaks have reported this. one sadhaka has sent a mail saying that, sir, nowadays I am having a lot of spare time. So can you please tell me what I can do in that? I want to do something for this cause, for the infinite wings and all that. Please give me some work. So I was wondering whether that person has lost his job or something, but it's not that. He had explained the later part of that mail. He had explained that. He said, I'm able to accomplish my tasks, achieve my targets, everything very fast nowadays. With after I started doing the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana regularly. So whatever time I get now, I want to serve this higher cause which you're working for, sir. So please give me something, some activity for me to promote this higher cause. Beautiful mail he has written. So how did he get that spare time? Not by shirking away his responsibilities. No, that is what I was observing. It is because he has truly practiced that sadhana, and his personality has started getting integrated. I wouldn't say he has become an established yogi yet. No. But even a little bit of practice is more than enough. He is able to handle all the worldly work with such ease, without any big stress. So these things will start happening to you automatically. If you are feeling your work, your responsibility as a burden, which we saw in that with respect to Dharma. No? So if you are feeling it as a burden, it means your personality is maximum fragmented. You are not being straightforward. You are hiding many things. You are having your own set of thoughts and you are hiding that and you are doing something else. That is when you will start feeling your work as burden. So this is a very powerful sadhana principle which has been given to you. Along with your Yoga Sankirtan practice daily, now infuse this principle into your life. It will create a tremendous positive effect. Just practice it and see. Practice these principles. Whatever inspires you, you take it up and practice first. Don't ask me, sir, should I practice uprightness first or thought, word and thought, emotion, that word and deed, that first? Which one should I start with? Don't ask such questions. Whatever inspires you, start practicing. The other qualities also will automatically start coming. So this is a very powerful dimension, being truthful. Then the next dimension of Sat. So I told you Sant means derived from the word Sat. So Sat means a reality. What do we mean by reality? That infinite God principle is the reality of life. Everything else is an illusion. So a Sant is one who is established in that reality. That's why even in the Nididhyasana meditation, many times these words are used. Supreme reality. Why you should understand why those words are used. That is the significance of those words. Very, very powerful words. Supreme reality means that alone which is real. Everything else is asat, unreal. So a Sant is one who is ever established in that infinite reality. His consciousness is always attuned to that infinite reality. It is said by the yogis always that you have infinite powers within you. Where are those infinite powers? Those infinite powers are there in that infinite reality. So when you get attuned to that infinite reality, those powers will start manifesting within you. So where is your consciousness stuck? That is the question. Some people's consciousness are stuck with money, wealth. Some people's consciousness is stuck with name. Some people's consciousness is stuck with, another person's consciousness is stuck with fame. Another person's consciousness is stuck with power or position. Something or other, which are all finite. But a sant is one whose consciousness is established. Here I am not using the word stuck, because generally we use the word stuck to mean limitation, but here we are using the word established. So a sant's consciousness is established in that infinite reality. So wherever your consciousness is stuck, that is what you will value in life. So supposing your consciousness is stuck to wealth, you will think wealth is everything. Whenever a person is wealthy, you will respect that person. You will look down upon people who don't have wealth. If your consciousness is stuck with name, you will think name is everything or fame is everything, wherever it is stuck. But a true sadhak will identify that and keep doing the sadhana. That is what you need to practice. You should keep doing your sadhana, and slowly you will observe that your consciousness starts withdrawing itself from all these finite things, and it will get attuned to that infinite reality. That is when your sadhana is becoming fruitful. We are not talking about externalities here. You may have a lot of wealth with you. That is okay. You may incidentally be famous. You may have name, fame. Incidentally, you may be in a powerful position. But where is your consciousness attached to? That is the question. In the good old days, there were many Raja Rishis, kings, who were all sages, saints. How is that possible? Because even though they lived in such opulence, they had so much of wealth, power, position, they never allowed their minds to get attached there. Why? Because they were able to do the sadhana and shift the consciousness and get it established in the infinite reality. So that should be your focus. Acquire whatever you want in the world. Nobody is stopping you. What is the big deal? Actually, if you do your sadhana with this deeper purpose, you will be able to easily materialize things in the world. If you want wealth, you can get wealth. If you want name, you can get name. In one of the verses, Lord Krishna says, Kshipram. Kshipram means just like that. With this wisdom, with these higher powers, you can manifest. But when it comes to getting established in the infinite reality, that is where the real challenge comes. So don't judge a person by the externalities. It is only the level of consciousness which determines whether the spiritual level of a person. I know many people who are externally what a conventional person would say as non-spiritual, but internally their consciousness is very elevated. So always look within. See where your consciousness is stuck. How will you find that out? Wherever your mind is running naturally, whatever it is that you are valuing in life, that is where your consciousness is stuck. It is not about what you're saying externally. Sometimes, some students try to impress the master. They go to their masters and say, "Oh, sir, nothing is important for me. It is just seva. It is just the truth." Those are all just empty words. A person who's truly having that bhavana will not say all that. What is the necessity to keep saying? You see, supposing a person comes to you and tells you, "Sir, I am not a robber. I have never robbed a bank. I am not a murderer. I have never murdered anyone." Supposing somebody keeps saying that. Now what will you say? You will automatically get a doubt. No, probably he has robbed a bank. He must have committed something. Otherwise, why should he keep saying that? There is no necessity to keep reinforcing it with your words. So look within and go for that inner experience. Don't compromise with these things like wealth, name, fame, power. Acquire all that. They will come to you. So if you do your sadhana, the difference is for a non-sadhak, he will have to chase wealth. He will have to chase name, fame, power, position. For a sadhak, all these things will automatically come. He just has to put his goals and put in the right efforts. He will be able to attract success and wealth. Similarly, when you grow further spiritually, your inner powers will start awakening. The Ashtasiddhis will start manifesting, the so-called supernatural powers. The Navanidhis, they say. All these things are there. But as a sadhak, you should not compromise for these things, because all these things are finite. Even those siddhi powers and all are very much finite. They will only bind you to some part of the world. So as a sadhak, from this moment onwards, be very, very clear. Your goal is not all this. You may experience all this in the path, but your ultimate goal is that infinite, supreme reality, nothing short of it. The Guru comes into your life to show you what your real purpose is, not to merely help you get some wealth, get whatever, not to merely fulfill your desires. That is done. The healing is given. So that you experience some good health, you experience some wealth, all these things. But all that is only done as an encouragement, so that you will do your sadhana with a focus on the highest goal. So when the healing is given and when you get a lot of benefits, limited benefits, your consciousness should not get stuck there. I am mentioning this because I am finding that happening with some sadhaks. They are only concerned about these finite things. Don't worry so much. If you are doing your sadhana properly, you will have to rise above all these things. They will be at your feet. You should not be a slave to all these things. You should be a master. So do your sadhana with this ultimate purpose in mind. to get attuned to that ultimate supreme reality. Nothing short of it. If you want, you throughout this week, you get to this portion and see this again and again. Let these words soak into your personality. This is your real purpose in life, nothing else. Many yogis have come. Many masters have come. What is that which they are trying to communicate? Just this. You have taken this human birth to experience the infinite, to do the sadhana, expand your consciousness. You cannot do that sadhana in any other form. If you take, let's say, the birth of an animal or a bird, you will not be able to do the sadhana. It is only in the human birth you get that capacity to do sadhana. And if you don't do that, then you are wasting this human birth. That is why they say that human birth is so precious. So, a sant is one who is established, whose consciousness is established in that infinite supreme reality. I want you to install that goal in the deeper mind. Today, in today's Nididhyasana, I'll take you into the deep meditative state, and we will install that in your the deeper layers of your personality. After that, you'll be able to practice that. Do whatever you want in life, but your ultimate purpose is this. Don't forget that. And when you are focused, when you are very clear that this is my ultimate purpose, you will become connected to your Guru at a very subtle level. The guidance will start happening. You will experience that. All the great masters are constantly guiding us. Whether they are in the physical form or not, it does not matter. The Guru Shakti is constantly guiding you. Soon we are going to have the Guru Purnima session, the intense sadhana session. I'm only preparing you for that. So when you become clear with your ultimate purpose, on that day when we do the deeper yogic sadhana of Guru Purnima, where the Guru Shakti is going to be invoked in a very powerful way, you will receive the infinite blessings. But if your personality is fragmented, you are not focused, your consciousness is stuck here and there, the capacity for you to absorb will become less. So now you may ask me, sir, I am at this level, what should I do? Bring that intention. I am talking about that intention. I am not saying immediately now become established in that infinite supreme reality. Then you become a saint, no? That doesn't happen overnight. But bring that intention wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing. See, once you decide, I want to move from place A to B. Once B is your destination, now you may go here, you may go there, but as long as your destination is B, you will reach there. You may go off the track here and there, but you will take the right guidance and you will get back on track. So, when you bring this intention, you are adding more power to your sadhana. When you do your sadhana mechanically, see, sadhana doesn't mean just simply playing that Yoga Sankirtan audio material and simply mechanically sitting with your eyes closed. Not that. Your intention matters. If you do the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana for mere wealth, you will get wealth, but you will get stuck there. If you do that merely for name and fame, you will get name and fame, but you will get stuck there. But if you, whatever it is that you're doing, but if you do the same Yoga Sankirtan sadhana with this intention of getting established in that infinite supreme reality, you will get all the finite benefits, but your consciousness will not get stuck there. You will also become detached. When wealth comes to you, enjoy it in a detached way. When so many things are acquired in the world, go through all those experiences in a detached way. How will you get that detachment? It is by bringing in this intention. So this is the message of the Upanishads. This is the message of all the masters. So have this uncompromising attitude, then only you will add power to your sadhana. Let everything come to you. The world will be at your feet. Mark my words. The world will be at your feet because you will be vibrating at a higher frequency. Everything will be at your beck and call. That is the supreme state of detachment. That is the supreme state of being a master, having complete mastery. You will never become a slave to anything. Your happiness will never be dependent on all these things. Why? Because you're looking up. So wherever you are, see, let this sink into your personality. Wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, just start looking up. Look within and look up. Let your consciousness start rising. Do your sadhana on a daily basis with this ultimate goal as your motive. Along your path, as you're moving, if some blocks come, yes, you can use this energy to remove those blocks. But don't fritter away your energies. Everything which you're wanting will come, whatever good, whether it is wealth or name or fame or power or position or good relationships, everything will be manifested for a sadhak. But that is where the test is. Either you can develop asaktihi, attachment, or you can develop detachment, vairagya. You can enjoy that with attachment or with detachment. If it is asaktihi, you will go down. If it is detachment, you will be pushed up. This is like a game, the divine game. And you are the player as a sadhak. And that choice has been given to you. The Guru helps you to choose the best. He is constantly striving through his words, through his actions, through his meditations. He keeps sending the subtler messages through in the energy form, somehow or other helping you to choose the highest. Make use of all this. Don't compromise. Okay, so we'll stop with that. It's a very powerful principle. Actually, today, two, three principles which have been given to you are truly very powerful. If you absorb that, they will shake you, because your foundation itself will start shaking. You may wonder, sir, what happens if the foundation is shaken? Your finite foundation will start shaking, and the infinite foundation will replace it. So there is nothing to fear in that. The Guru Shakti is always there to protect us. I'm stepping up the energy a bit because I want you to get fully prepared to receive the Guru Shakti, the grace of the Guru Shakti fully during the Guru Purnima deeper yogic sadhana. Okay, so now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. These principles will be installed in the deeper layers of your personality, and then after that, when you do your reflection and you start absorbing these things and practicing, you will find it much easier to practice. Okay, so sit in a comfortable position. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the infinite divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these various emotions and thoughts, lies my real self. My higher self is that infinite, supreme reality. My real purpose in life is to become established in that infinite, supreme reality. My thoughts, emotions, speech and actions are all in perfect alignment. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very powerful session today. These sessions are meant to uplift you, not to merely pamper you. Sometimes these sessions may hit you. The messages may hit you in a harsh way, in a hard way. But my request is always see the emotion of love behind that harshness. The Guru Shakti is always trying to guide you to the higher. It is backed by unconditional love. Remember that. So you think about whatever was given to you today. can see this how many ever times you want. And come to the next session with a deeper seeking. It will automatically happen because you will start doing your sadhana in a deeper way. It's an automatic process. We'll go into more depth. We'll see a few more dimensions of sant, and then we will see how it is applicable to the principle of parasparam. What is the exact approach and all that. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.